It's game time. The Kid Gowie. Ravens Nation. All we know is purple and black. And if you're not a Ravens fan, Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, M&T Bank Stadium, where opponents don't make it out alive unless we bury them. Every team be afraid of them, especially all the quarterbacks, as our defensive linemen won't hesitate to leave you sacked. Let's take a minute, go back to Super Bowl 35. Domination was an understatement up against the Giants. Numerous touchdowns, they put up numbers, and it didn't take a nutritionist to see they hunger. Only stat Kerry Collins could get was interceptions. He must have thought throwing to the D counted as receptions. The pass was legendary, but don't sleep on the present. Our secondary make quarterbacks avoid that direction. You tryna run the ball, you better hope your blockers work. You can juke, you can spin, but your destination's the turf. This is a man's game, being soft will get you hurt. Watch the defense force a fumble and the fans go berserk. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go! They always win when the championship's on the line. So if you hoping that they failed, then you really wasting your time. Go and ask the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they remember when they made a comeback, but weren't declared the winner. 2 rings down, but you know they won't stop now. If the opposing D's caught slipping, you know exactly how that goes. That's another deep connection for 6 points in the end zone. The stadium goes wacko as Ravens put in work. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's still curtain, it's looking more like a skirt. So tell me who they say is going to beat them Bengals. Who used to beat the Browns until they relocated? Ravens, they are one of the greatest. There's simply no denying it. To beat them, bringing your A game's a requirement. With the youth of the team, I bet they still be dominant, even after the greatest linebackers retirement. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go!
Yo, what's going on? It's Sunny here with another video live stream on Mondays. Remember, Mondays at 5. We do this thing every Monday at 5. And as the season's progressing, obviously more content is about to come. Shout out to everybody here. Thomas Morgan, Terrence H. See, this is what happens when Sunny starts to talk too fast. And my accent starts, being problematic. Garnett, West, Burton, Maitland, the Pointful, Belair, Ron, and the other ones, they're not on the chat right now, but I know they're watching. Shout out to all of you. I appreciate all of you. It's been great. I want to hear today. We're going to open phone lines, and I would like to hear if you went to the one of the practices. Tell me how it was. I watched the whole practice, the one that they did, but they're cutting to Downley and all the other cats. I'm like, yo, just leave the camera in the players, but whatever. I'll give you my thoughts of what I saw so far. But let's start with this. Let me do a quick recap of what happened in the AFC North talk. And by the way, if you haven't, let me show you this because this is very impressive. If you haven't voted, go vote. Because right now, I'm not saying this is, hold on. I'm going to show you what's going on right now in the AFC North talk here. Can you see that? That is our current poll. Bengals are destroying everybody. I can see Browns. I'm sorry. I can see Bengals. I couldn't see Steelers. I cannot see Browns. I'm shocked that Browns are here second, to be honest. And to be honest, I have I'll give you my thoughts tomorrow about this, but If you haven't, go vote. I'm not saying go vote Ravens. I'm just saying go vote. 1,300 votes. We started this poll like 4 or 5 hours ago. I think it was when I put it on. So, yeah, go vote. Okay. So AFC North top we rank coaches, and some of y'all got a little upset with me because I didn't rank the Ravens number 1. Consensus was 4th. Bengals, that was an easy one, and then Quincy had the Browns number 1, but the rest of us had the Browns. I think no, not the rest of us, because Ace had the Browns 2nd and Steelers 3rd. I think the Ravens are a great organization. As I said in that video, I think the Ravens are top 5 between coach GM combo. I think the cost is still too early. If you've been here for a little bit, you see my critiques on Harbaugh. So, sorry, not Harbaugh, EDC. So, it's important. I mean, I try to be as honest as possible. And, I think what Tomlin did 2 years ago was incredible. And the GM is okay. So I think people give him too much credit, in my opinion. But I said, like, narrowly, I had the Steelers or the Ravens. I know, Steelers or the Ravens. The Ravens 2nd. Browns 3rd. I love everything the Browns have been doing. But, I mean, they're on the increase, but not there yet. Come on. Terrence says, Houston or Clowney. Manuel, shout out to you, man. Thank you for the watch. Odafe Speed is the Lamar killer. Glad we drafted. I mean, he looked fast. Okay, let's talk about Justin Houston before we go to camp. And let me put this here. If you want to be in the show, remember you text. You don't call me. You text me. Okay, I was checking that the thing was up. You text me. Because if you call me, then you're interrupting the flow. I'm not saying that I have here a very good flow or I have a producer here, right? I'm a producer doing all this stuff. But you call me and then I put you in the queue. I'm sorry, you text me, then I put you in the queue and I'll call you back. That's easy. It's a very easy process. Okay. So Houston, look, the contract for Houston, it was as good of a contract as you can see. $2 million. $2 million. So that's very close to bid minimum. Bid minimum, I think, is a shade under 2, I think. So $2 million, and then he can make it to $4 million with incentive. Makes a Pro Bowl. Well, if he makes a Pro Bowl, he's worth the $4 million, right there, right? And then there's the sack numbers. So he has to hit both to make the $4 million. But I'm saying, if he makes it a Pro Bowl and he gets whatever the number of sacks, I didn't read how much was the sack. He's worth it. He's already worth it, right? Because if Houston comes here, I'm not expecting this, by the way. If Houston comes here and gives you 8 to 10 sacks, that's the amount that Judon was giving you. I think Judon cost last year $18 million. So I think Houston pickup was a no-brainer. It was an easy one. I think it was overdue. I don't know why the Ravens waited so long. So, yeah. I'm happy. Now, I give you guys my way too early 53 men. And in that video, now, if you think about it, there's a position that there's one player needs to get out. And as I'm thinking more and more, Fergie needs to step up. I don't think they want to cut anybody there. Let me say that number 1. But Fergie might need to step up, or they might go 2 tight end sets, and then they have a Boykin hybrid. I'll talk about that soon. But the Houston signing just makes too much sense because right now, think about this. You have Bowser as your vet. He's only his 5th year. Still very young. And not the best pass rusher. He's a great outside linebacker, very agile, right? Odafe, we're very raw, still learning. McPhee, older guy, in my opinion. Sorry. Better rusher from the inside than from the outside, but still very savvy veteran. Ferguson, he needs to learn so much still. A magnet. I used to call him with the O line, right? They get glue as soon as snap is in. I'm missing one. I feel like I'm missing one. Anyway, but you don't have that big vet presence. But that's what Houston brings you, okay? The other guy that I saw a couple highlights, which I mean, whatever I was catching, it wasn't like they put a highlight of him. So I was seeing in the video, it was Chauncey. Chauncey? The dude that was drafted 2 years ago. He's small. He's aggressive. And I like that. I definitely like that. Okay, let me see some of the comments here before we go and talk about everything that is that I saw and from what I heard from some of y'all that went there. For sure making the squad. Sonny was my guys, shout out to you, don't see. Shout out to you, let's get it. I guess we can't thank Peters to recruit. I'm liking that. Yeah, keep recruiting, man. Appreciate looks, I guess locks maybe. Appreciate overbooking sadly. What's up? Okay. Appreciate overbooking. I guess Brochet is way better than boy can say that for a long time. What is your record prediction? My record prediction is coming. So I'm not gonna say it's yet, Manuel. In the AFC North talk, we have an episode next week of record prediction, and then in the AFC North, by the way, we're gonna go into a break. And then for me, I'm gonna put the record for the Ravens, but also then I'm gonna do a more deep dive on what I'm expecting on each game. So I'm gonna go to the 17 games, and for the AFC North, we basically might go like this is the record, this is what I think roughly, and then go. But yeah, so Manuel, you might see that soon. I was in the Titans chat today. They fear us. They say the Baltimore Ravens are built to stop King Henry, and we are dangerous. I agree. Look, with Baltimore, we got embarrassed 2 years ago. I was in that playoff game, and we got embarrassed, and the Ravens said like, "Yo, we ain't doing this shit again. We just bulk up. We're gonna stop it." And look, that division is soft. Talk about that division being soft. No wins for Indy. Who knows what Jacksonville's gonna be? In the Texans, they're a mess. So they have it already to make it all the way in. I'm getting shivers about this season now. The rest of the AFC North has to be Terrence, you know it, man. And hopefully you guys are liking the AFC North talk, by the way. I'm hoping you guys are liking it. Could we sign another pass rusher like Olivia Werner for a similar price as Houston? That will really strengthen us the pass. I think what they want, Eddie Muhammad, I think what they want right now is see what they have. Now, what they can do with Werner is bring him in, check him out, but not a sign. More like, if I get an injury, I can call him in. I think Olivia Werner might not even be ready for the start of the season. I don't think so. And then Rasta, how you doing, man? Houston was a good signing, but at the end of the day, it doesn't fix our interior pass rush. We need a youth movement inside. I'm hoping the only youth movement you want to see there, Garnet, is Marabuki. I had no faith at all in Washington. Jelly's just there for Brandon to take some sense. I need Campbell to do better on the pass rushes from the inside. And that's it. We really don't have any good, interior D-line. Like young interior D-line. We have good, solid run stoppers and older D-line, but not young, just Marabuki. What type of routes you see Duvernay and Wallace running at the most? So Sheldon Partlow, I think what you want is for these receivers to be malleable. You don't want to have them locked in at one. Although I'm expecting both Brochet and my dude, the one that you just said, I'm blanking, Duvernay, to go on the slot. I think Wallace will be more on the outside. Also, it's going to depend how well they block. In the case of Duvernay, he's very quick, so you don't necessarily need him to block because you can have him in the slot. Think about this. You can have it in the slot, almost do like a reverse going drag, like a drag route on the other side. You fake the run that way. Everybody's collapsing there. Lamar keeps, but throws it all defense is going that way, and then Duvernay's just leaking out of between all that traffic to the other side, open field, and you want him to make play, make the play in the open field. So yeah, I think Wallace. Look, I know a lot of people are very hyped about Wallace. I'm hoping the kid does amazing. He looks like a young guy that is like a good guy. I'm rooting for them, but you need to temper your expectations. He is young. He was a fourth rounder for a reason, and there's a bunch of other players on top of him, right? Think about Sammy Watkins. Prochet will be on top of him. Duvernay will be on top of him. Hollywood Brown and Bateman. That's 5 receivers. 5. So you will see very limited from Wallace. What he needs to do is just adjust his mark in the special teams. When his numbers call, better be ready so he can take snaps from other guys, right? What you want for him is at the end of the year, the Ravens look at their wide receiver field and they're like, we don't need a veteran. Let's keep all these young guys because we don't need a veterans, right? So let me see here. Manuel says Odafe and Dalen learning from Houston will make them very dangerous. Agree. Matabuki is a real deal. I agree with that. Duvernay is fast. It's a fat ball. Okay, they're very different. Maybe 76 speed more. Bolden was a big ass receiver. But that's it until he was thick. Like this dude was, man. He wanted the ball. Nobody either he catched it or nobody catched it. Duvernay is physical for his size, but he's a smaller receiver that is faster. Bolden was fast when he was young, but not as fast as what Duvernay is and shifty. Bolden was just strong, and he had good vision in the open field, and he was tenacious and ferocious. And look, if Bateman can have 75% of what Bolden had, and think for Wallace for the contested catches, we're good, right? Or Steve Smith, we're good. So, yeah. Oh, okay, man. Well, that's good. When you leave work, that's good. From here I go to bed and then I wake up at 5 in the morning. So, how many corners do you think we keep? Let me see if I had that here because I said it last week. Where is it? Corners. Where's the corners? I have 7 right now. I have 7. That includes Stevens, that is a hybrid corner safety, right? And Steven, I think they want him more as a safety because Clark and Ellie ain't gonna be here next year. One of those two is out. And Steven is taking that with Washington. I have Washington as the undrafted guy making the team. Let's get it. Okay. We'll get to see Wallace when the Ravens are up by 20 quarters. When will Hollywood return? I think Hollywood might be ready for week 1. Looks like it's a little bit more serious than they thought. Brittany Russell. So I think they're gonna. So it's week to week. That's not day to day. It's gonna be week to week. And when you think about it, it's gonna be probably this week he's not there. Next week you have to start monitoring. If he misses next week at all, then if a week 3, if he doesn't practice or play at all, now week 1 is in jeopardy, right? So what you hope is, but this week is off. Next week you can see him stretching, maybe going there jogging and all that, and then the following week, right? So 2.5 weeks from today, then you see him back in practice, and then you can see him getting ready for that question. Thanks for that question, Brittany. Let's get it. Says we'll see Wallace in the preseason. Yes, that's what you want. They need to flash there. Raffles and Mayfield and Burrow are preparing their pen. Baldy was slow. Check his 40. I'm saying he was faster while he wasn't here. Is what I meant. Melvin Group. Melvin Group. He was again. He's not near Duvernay and Balding are completely different receivers. That I guess that was my point. Then cooking dinner on the grill, missing everything. I'm back now. Look, don't see, man. I made a whole pork shoulder on Sunday. Man, that thing was good. Upper knee. For those of you who are weekend like me, I made upper knee. Woo, man, that was amazing. Okay, us depending on Justin Marabuki to be the end all be all is a bad move. Duvernay is built like a running back. Yes and yes. Yes on the Marabuki, but remember you still have him as your backup D tackle. But the problem is next year you're gonna lose Campbell. In my opinion, they're bringing Brandon on a cheaper deal, and then you have Wolf, so he's gonna be your Calais Campbell. Who else you have? So next year, you will see the Ravens targeting, in my opinion, D tackles early because they need D tackles. They don't have much D tackles. Next, right now, you say, Sonny, what are glaring needs? Well, safety could be one, although they have Washington and Stevens. Those two might be your future, and you can keep one between Clark and Elliott. Corners, you're good. Outside backers, well, you got to Adafe Owe. Can you use another outside backer? Yes. D tackle, oh yes, because you're older in that position and your depth is very low. And on the other side, depending on the O line, depending how the O line plays, you might be good in the O line. Receivers, hopefully we're good, right? Tight ends, we'll see if they keep Andrews, which is my hope that they can extend him before the season starts. Boyle's here, and you don't need an early draft pick on a tight end. Running backs, you're good. So think about what is your biggest position in need. D lineman and possibly outside linebacker. And then I missed where Garnett said here that he was built like a running back. Yeah, that's what Duvernay is. He's definitely built like a running back, but he has great hands. So what you want him is in the open space where he can just excel and he has good vision and all that good stuff. Okay. I'm in Baltimore for the Chargers game. I will be there for that game. So ready for Jimmy Seafood. Oh man, that's good. So you're coming from Florida? Hey man. I'm gonna be back in the States for a week in Florida actually in October. And we are thinking about doing an AFC North talk live. We'll see how that goes. From Florida, the week that I'm there from England. So good. We have the Raiders week 1, and their secondary is, yes, it's pretty garbage. Let's get it in the family. Really cut. I'm completely comfortable with the starters not playing preseason games. So yeah, I think what I want, Garnett, is for them to play week 2 of the preseason for like a good half. And that's it. Shut them down after that, and I'm good with that. What do you think about Rashad beating Marlowe? Well, when Rashad Bateman did not play is what you want. A clean release. Marlon couldn't put a hand. He still maintained his speed. He tracked the ball and catch the ball. Like I said, I don't know if they had like a no jamming rule because if you ever see Marlon Humphrey's a guy that likes to grab. He doesn't like he puts his hand on the hip, which is legal, or he holds the shirt, which is legal as long as you don't pull. And he wasn't touching Bateman at all. Still impressive. I want them in pads. I want to see that in pads. Oof, man, that's a good scene to watch. Definitely a good scene to watch. Yes, Garnett. I don't think. Well, the Ravens are not about to rush anybody in the field. Okay, so okay. Our CB is good. There's a lot of money tied up there. Yeah, but you're right. There's a lot of money there, Josh. So what I think is going to happen is next year, if they think Wade could step up for Young is gone, and that's going to release some X amount of money. So then and then you see you might have to draft another outside corner, and then to replace Marcus Peters like in a year, but not next year, or the following year. Not really a backup though. We're talking about older players, which means a higher chance of injury. So we're really depending. Oh, I got you. He is basically. I see what you're saying. Yeah, really. the question is not necessarily all the weight is on the shoulder of Marabuki, is you have no depth. Because then who comes after them? Again, Washington, in my opinion, is trash. But then you can think about, is Pat Ricard going to be playing there? Which, again, is a possibility if they keep Mason, right? Then you can see Pat Ricard getting more snaps. Now, saying that, I haven't seen amazing things out of Pat Ricard, right? I haven't oh my God, Pat Ricard, why are we playing him more in the D tackle position? Could be because we haven't played as much, but he's okay as a rotation, but not somebody that you want to have him a lot of snaps. I'm talking about Pat Ricard. ADC said he's a throwing league and CBs are more valuable now than ever. Fair. I think a little Navarro Bowman and maybe Marvin Harrison. His body frame, hopefully that type of potential production. Center position is still a big question mark. If Bozeman excels there, he could be gone in the offseason. Just like I agree. But if he excels, then we have him. At worst, you still have TCC that played well. They will be under a second year on his belt. Remember, he was undrafted rookie last year. So, and he played well the game or two that he played. So they might be grooming him for him to take the position, right? So I think the lineman, in my opinion, is big. And if he can find somebody that can pass rush from the inside, over. Let me see some of the other questions here. That's why I thought the defenders weren't physical at all. Yeah, so again, it could be well, you can't tackle, right? So they might be saying hey, don't pull, don't do none of this, and we will lose Bozeman like with Jensen. We might. Jensen was a 2-year starter at center, maybe a Pro Bowl. So Devin Dukes, shout out to you, man. Thank you for being in the live stream. Sean Wei is our Tay-Tay 2.0. Oh, is our Tay-Tay 2.0. Yes, I think so. Mayman is that dude. He better represent that 12, right? 12 is that reason we got to Super Bowl 47. Hey, 12 was amazing. Bozeman walks. We're right back at the drowning board. After sending the Chiefs their pick, they used to select Creed Humphrey. What that trade could look like a disaster in hindsight. Thomas, remember, centers are not highly picked like early in the first round. So every year there's at least one or two good centers. So again, we're talking about next year, you're looking at D-line, center. You're going to have some picks moving up next year from the KC trade that you might be able to use in the center. You might be able to trade up. So we'll see. It's not like it's over, okay? David Ron, what's up, man? Shout out to you. Thank you for being in a live stream. With the Ravens secondary, I think Houston is going to feast. And I'm hoping you are correct. So one thing I will say here is, as I look at that video yesterday, I will say this. And I tweeted about it. I mean, it was like 3 a.m. in Baltimore. Prochet looks good. And he looks smooth. I think that's the word that he's smooth. Boykin was MIA. Terry Phillips, they put him in the guard position, which again, I told you guys, he's a bad O-line, but that's unfair because he was raw. We overdrafted him. He was not at the round pick. I'm still confused why he was selected at the round. But as a tackle, he plays way better. Not great, but way better than himself as a guard. As a guard, he's just atrocious. He needs to not play that position. So he was not good. He'll look fast. I know you guys kill me every time I talk bad about Hill. He'll look fast. Odafe Owe had his moments. And how the moments you're like, he looks raw. There's gonna be growing pains with Odafe Owe. Double O. I'm gonna call him double O. So if you see me referring to somebody as double O, Odafe Owe. Let me see. Duvernay, there was a couple of plays that Duvernay made. They were good. The quarterbacks look like, for the most part, they were on point. They also had some missed throws. Let me see. Bateman looks smooth too. But look, right now, if you think about who's on the bubble to be out, it is Boykins, right? Prochet looked like he worked on his thing. He's smooth. I will say this. What Boykins brings is he brings a tenacity, ferociousness on the blocking side, which the Ravens might want to keep. Is still tall. He doesn't have putting the ball, which is frustrating for a big tall receiver. So but the Ravens might still want him. He probably can play special teams. So my question is to whoever, to Ravens, is are you then trying to keep Andrews, Boyle, and they have Boykins being a hybrid tight end, mostly tight end and wide receiver, like Waller? Boykins and Waller. Let me see how tall is Boykins versus how tall is Waller. Wait, how is Boykins? Boykins is definitely thicker than what Wallace looks. Okay. Man, I have meters. Let me see how much is this in feet. Okay, so he's 6.33 feet. Okay, and then if we think about Waller, so Waller is a little bit taller, and I remember Waller used to be a palm. So about 2-3 inches maybe, but definitely he's a little bit thicker. In the case of Boykins, so he looks right now thicker than when Waller moved to tight end. So I think he can be a hybrid use. And then the problem with him, look, the problem with Boykins is Boykins hasn't been able to develop route running. Route running ability is so underrated. I remember people talk about Boykins' speed. Look at his speed. Well, speed is shorts. As soon as he put the helmet and pass, he can't run that fast because route running is not natural for him. As a tight end, you can run less routes because you're there in blocking. You might be gonna hit you can do so many other things that might be simplistic on the passing game, as long as you're willing to muddle yourself up in the O line. Okay, double O looks great. He's going to go off under wink. By the way, I don't know if people call him double O. I'm just saying it's easier for me just to call him double O. We have 2 first-round receivers, selected by Ravens, and former first-round Sammy Watkins. Ravens will have 3 first-round wide receivers on the team. No excuse this year. Fair. Prochet looks good for real. Boykins 6'4". Thank you, Lex. 6'6". Okay, so height-wise is the same. I mean, Mark Andrews is like, what, 6'2", 6'1"? They got Phillips at tackle now. Yes, Garnett, but the problem in the practice, yes, or whenever it was open practice, he was playing left guard, and I was like, why? We have like 1,000 guards. Let's be honest. We have the kid from Michigan. We have Power. We have Seiler. We have Cleveland, and we probably have a couple others that I can't even remember right now. So putting him at all is a mistake. Double is a monster. I predict 10 sacks for him. That's rich. I would have bet it. Marabuki is gonna eat. He's a diamond in the. I love it, man. I love it. We talk about Ben Cleveland. No, because the little that I saw for Ben Cleveland, he was uneventful. He was okay. He was. I feel like he needs to bend more. Let me say that first. He looks too high for me. He needs to bend more because if not, a savvy pass rusher would just and take him out. So Bad Boy needs to bend more. If not, again, somebody's going to take him out very easy. He never played guard in college. It's not this. No, I'm not saying. Oh, okay, so time out here. I agree. He's not his fault. I'm saying the Ravens should not put him in guard position at all. At all. It's not his fault. He played tackle. And the Ravens, I remember when they drafted him, he projects more of a guard. Week 1, week 2, he played guard. And I wanted to throw up because he was just opening the doors to Lamar. Like, go get Lamar. I'm not even going to attempt to block, right? I mean, not as bad as that, but people were just going through him. And as a tackle, it wasn't that he was great. Okay, I would put it like this because people understand it's great. As a guard, as a right guard, Phil was a F minus. I mean, he was as bad as you can get. As a tackle, C plus, which for a raw talent coming out of college, you know what? If he keeps growing, he might take over Villanova on the right tackle side, right? He just might need it 2 years. 3 years. I don't know. But as a guard, I don't want to see him as a guard at all. Ben Mason see the field during the past. Sorry. Do Ben Mason see the field during the regular season? And if so, will it take Pat Ricard's time? Like Ben Mason is a unicorn to me right now. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with him. When they drafted him, I was like, man, what are they gonna do with this dude? My idea was like, Fenton injury, IR, Pat Ricard next year, bye bye. Insert Mason. That's the only idea I have with Mason. He ain't no tight end like the Ravens are trying to make. No, nah. You can take snaps over in the passing game so you can be more adequate, but you ain't need a tight end. I think. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean he looked like an uneventful, and my problem again, Ravens fan. Look, Bateman expectations. He should be high, first round pick. Odafe with double O. Expectation, bring them down. Are very raw, very raw. If he gets, in my book, if he gets me 4 sacks, sets the edge well, and does pressure the quarterback, I'm ecstatic. And then we didn't have a second round pick, and then the third round, Ben Cleveland. When I predicted my 52-man roster, I did not have him as a starter. So if he starts, okay, but if he doesn't start, it's not the end of the world. Again, late third round pick for a reason. Stevens, special teamers. That's all he is going to be this year, unless there's an injury. Special teamers. Same thing for everybody from after that. Wallace, special teamers. Wade, special teamers. Benz, Mason. Who knows if he's going to make the team. But the only one is Bateman that he should be making an impact. And Dafe Wade, he should be part of the rotation, maybe a starter. But again, temper your expectations. Mark Andrews 6'5". Damn, I was wrong in the assessment of that height. I'll go with 10 sacks for Houston 2. I think Houston might get like 7. That would be. Benke would be fine when the season starts. I have no doubt he's still but part of the learning might be that he's not ready for week 1. Rated 76. He had 8 last year. Yeah, Houston, but it was a hell of a D-line that he was in, Terrence. I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm just saying, Ben Mason, practice squad, phantom injury, one of those. I agree, let's get it. I think they're putting Phillips on the field ahead of schedule because they envision him the future right tackle. He wasn't ready, so they got veteran stopgap in for this year. I agree with Villanueva. I agree. But my only point is stop giving him any snaps on guard because he needs them on tackle. I mean, in the case of Ben Wallace, guys, again, temper your expectations. I think if he wins the job, great. If he doesn't, for me, that's fine too. Anyway, let me see here, make sure we didn't have any phone calls today. Thank you everybody for watching. Tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. Eastern time, AFCNorth talk, where we're gonna be discussing safety. I'm preparing myself for a very hot topic. I'm probably gonna just sit back and enjoy the show like you guys. Because I don't have a big beef in this fight. But hey, it's gonna be a good show. Remember, make sure you hit that bell for this channel and the other channel as I'm putting more content that is not live. And I would love your opinions. Also, in the near future, it's gonna be a way for you guys to donate through the comment section. Something new that YouTube is doing, and they offer me to be part of their program. So I might be doing that. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Checking in, Gilbert Melton. Shout out to you, man. Okay, let me answer this question before I go. What do you think about the tight end Oliver? I like what I saw from Oliver. Question with him is, can he stay healthy? On the field, he looked good. He looked smooth too. Anyway, guys, thank you again for joining the live stream. Before you go, just make sure you hit that like. Just hit that like if you can. Also share my contact. I would appreciate that. We will see you guys next Monday. Peace out, my guys.